In the world of cursed techniques and heavenly restrictions, few fighters evoke as much fear as Yuki Tsukumo. His strength is indisputable, clearly matching special grade standards, and every battle he enters radiates a monstrous aura. Beyond raw power, his mastery over Festival, a cursed technique that manipulates mass and reality, makes him unpredictable and nearly unstoppable. Even when facing extreme setbacks, such as the Death's Door state in Chapter 206, it only highlights the gap between his visible limits and his true potential, hinting at abilities yet to be revealed. Meanwhile, the heavenly restricted duo, TOJI and MAKI, present a unique challenge. Stripped of cursed energy, but gifted with extraordinary physical prowess, near invisibility to domain expansions and lethal weaponry, they rely on strategy and precision to level the playing field. TOJI's inverted sphere of heaven and MAKI's playful cloud can neutralize even the most formidable techniques, creating opportunities that hinge entirely on preparation and execution. Yet, against a fighter like Yuki, whose Shikigami are both offensive and defensive powerhouses and whose techniques can turn the tide in an instant, even the most calculated strategies face a narrow margin for success. Oh yeah, so we can keep interacting and making the anime storytelling world even more fun together. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments to keep the vibe going. Alright guys, let's jump straight into the discussion. Let's go. So here's the deal, bro. Yuki Tsukumo isn't your average fighter. His power clearly matches special grade level, and every time he steps into a fight, his monstrous aura is undeniable. After Chapter 206, it's even more obvious that he's a genuinely terrifying force. But imagine this. What if he went up against the heavenly restricted duo, TOJI and MAKI? Two elite fighters, each with their own unique abilities. Talking about Yuki, his curse technique, Festival, is insane. He can control his mass in ways that defy logic, imaginary mass. Basically, imagine a body so heavy yet moving at normal speed, or even generating negative mass that seems to bend reality itself. His punches? Deadly, almost unstoppable. Shikigami turned into cursed weapons can be enhanced with this ability, whether it's called Bombay or Wrath of the Stars. His domain expansion is far more powerful than a standard one, and he likely has a devastating ultimate technique, as Kinjaku predicted. On top of that, Yuki can use reverse cursed techniques, has incredible durability, and an iron-strong mentality. Unfortunately, Tenga's plan leaves him vulnerable to a much harsher strike from Kinjaku. Now for TOJI and MAKI. Both are on equal footing, with heavenly restrictions granting extreme physical prowess while removing their cursed energy. This makes them nearly invisible to opponents' domain expansions. Each has unique weapons. TOJI with the inverted sphere of heaven, capable of nullifying nearly any curse technique, even Gojo's. MAKI with the playful cloud, which measures the user's physical strength, making every hit devastating. Their soul replicas can directly damage an opponent's soul, even immortals. The craziest part about TOJI and MAKI is their sensory abilities. They can detect things invisible to the normal eye: spirits, temperature shifts, air density, and more. This makes their movements both fluid and practically impossible for ordinary humans to track. MAKI can catch air to maneuver mid-air, and TOJI can contort his body to dodge Gojo's attacks. Together, this duo forms a lethal combination, even without cursed energy. Compared to pre-awakened Gojo, they're still weaker, but their fight would be intense. Strategy, conditions, and clever use of their abilities would determine who comes out on top. For example, look at TOJI's extreme prep when facing pre-awakened Gojo. He knew a straight-up fight wouldn't cut it, so he devised a wild plan. Place a bounty in Rico to force Gojo to use his technique non-stop for days, without rest. Imagine using a technique continuously until Gojo's mind is about to explode. At this point, Gojo lacked reverse cursed techniques, leaving him physically and mentally drained even before the fight officially began. Toji's opening strategy is brutal, attacking Gojo from behind. While Gojo claims the injury isn't serious and could be reinforced, without reverse curse techniques, the damage still matters. Toji also has full knowledge of Gojo's abilities and even uses fly heads to confuse him, tricking Gojo into thinking the attack target's Rico. Every bit of this preparation revolves around one goal: exploiting the only tool capable of challenging Gojo, the inverted spirit of heaven. It showcases just how meticulous Toji's strategy was. Meanwhile, opponents like Geto don't require such preparation. A straightforward fight is enough. This highlights Gojo's unparalleled level. Even though Toji and Maki are insanely powerful, they still need intricate strategies to match pre-awakened Gojo. Their speed, physical strength, and deadly weapons are top tier, plus near immunity to domain expansion, a major factor in fights. Back to Yuki, his odds of winning are considerably higher. A single strike could seriously injure an opponent, even causing internal damage. For instance, one hit could twist Kenjaku's arm or send him flying past complex barriers. Yuki's Shikigami are incredibly heavy and multifunctional, capable of trapping opponents in heavy mass. If Toji and Maki were hit by something like this, the chances of severe injury or internal damage would be extremely high. Don't forget, Yuki still has abilities that haven't fully been revealed. In Chapter 206, he hits the so-called Death's Door state because Tenga's plan backfired, but that's far from showing his true power. Overall, Yuki has major advantages: sheer strength, likely extreme speed, versatile Shikigami, and probably secret techniques that haven't surfaced yet. Realistically, in most scenarios, Yuki comes out on top. Now, let's get into the more intriguing part: Maki's strategies and potential win conditions. One key factor is the inverted spirit of heaven. Make no mistake, this weapon is insane. No matter how powerful Yuki is or how massive his body becomes, getting hit by the inverted spirit of heaven almost guarantees defeat. Why? This weapon can nullify all opposing curse techniques completely. If it can neutralize Gojo's Limitless, which functions at a subatomic level, it's obvious Yuki would also be severely affected. But Yuki isn't the type to just stand there and take a lethal weapon. Even if it's only a standard cursor he doesn't fully understand, he'd instinctively evade. Experienced sorcerers always approach cursed tools with caution because their effects can be fatal, even for those who can heal themselves. Yuki, with his experience and intelligence, would be extremely alert. On top of that, his super heavy Shikigami can serve both defensive and offensive roles. Even if opponents drop their weapons while Yuki activates his domain expansion, it doesn't automatically reveal them. They can remain invisible. However, if Yuki strikes fast, say in 0.2 seconds, Toji and Maki could still be detected within the domain. His Shikigami could easily turn the tide, both protecting him and enabling counterattacks. Under normal conditions, Yuki doesn't even need domain expansion to control the battle. His techniques, punches, and Shikigami alone are enough to overwhelm opponents. While Maki and Toji wield deadly weapons, their chances of winning a 1v1 are slim. Their only real opportunity lies in meticulous preparation, studying Yuki's abilities beforehand or setting up an assassination strategy. Otherwise, Yuki's raw power is just too overwhelming to overcome head-on. Community polls reflect this dominance. Out of 1,400 votes, 86% favored Yuki. Many comments roasted Toji and Maki, which isn't surprising given how overpowering Yuki is. That doesn't mean the heavenly restricted duo are weak, though. They have their own win conditions. Highly destructive weapons and clever tactics could secure a victory if executed perfectly. But these scenarios lean more toward ambushes or assassination attempts rather than fair fights. In essence, in a standard battle, Yuki holds a clear advantage. Yet, if Maki and Toji manage a perfectly executed strategy, a window opens for them. That's why many say, whoever lands the first hit wins. Still, With Yuki's experience and adaptability, catching him off guard is no easy feat. In conclusion, Yuki Tsukumo's overwhelming power, versatile shikigami, and potentially hidden techniques give him a decisive edge in most scenarios. His mastery over Festival allows him to manipulate mass and reality in ways that few can anticipate or counter. Even against opponents as skilled as TOJI and MAKI, his combination of raw strength, speed, and tactical intelligence makes him exceptionally difficult to defeat in a direct confrontation. While setbacks like the Death's Door state demonstrate vulnerability, they do not reflect his true capabilities, which remain largely untapped. On the other hand, TOJI and MAKI's strengths lie in precision, preparation, and the strategic use of unique weapons. The inverted sphere of heaven and playful cloud present rare opportunities to neutralize even formidable opponents. But these advantages require meticulous planning and perfect execution. Against Yuki's overwhelming versatility and raw power, their chances in a straightforward fight remain slim. Realistically, their best path to victory would involve ambushes or exploiting specific weaknesses, highlighting that, while exceptional, their triumph depends more on strategy than sheer force. Thank you so much for sticking with the story till the end. If you have any questions, feel free to write them down in the comments section below. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one.